Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So this is Star Wars Obi Wan Kenobi, episode one. Boot up your Disney Plus catalog, get timestamp 0, and press play now. And feel free to skip over the recap stuff. Should be at the Lucasfilm logo right now if you're following along. Now, right away, I want to say that although disappointed with the Kenobi series, I think I had a strong opening for the most part, but for me, when Reva shows up, I think it just takes a straight up downward spiral. This opening is awesome though. Especially seeing this stuff in live action. Like this is like during Order 66. And you'll see out of all the kids, the young African American girls Reva. And this Jedi Master that's fighting off all these clones looks freaking awesome. That's why I'm so amazed that so many Jedi fell to these clone troopers. Like these badass Jedi just go down like freaking bowling ball pins. It's really sad. Oh my god, man. These Jedi have been training and fighting for years. A couple of blaster bolts takes them down. Yeah, right there in the middle. That's her. Now she survived a saber wound from Anakin is beyond me. No child would ever be able to survive that. Impossible. But apparently no one died in Star Wars anymore, so and right away I love the atmosphere of seeing Tatooine, as annoying as it is. The details are always really good in these shows, I'll say that much. Storytelling has never really been top notch for these shows. So honestly, I don't think the budget was really there either. Like you can put Harry Potter on TV, you can put Lord of the Rings belongs on film. Star Wars belongs on film. Initially, I like the idea of this being a TV show, but it should have definitely been a movie. And the first problem I had with this scene, too many Inquisitors. It's too many. You don't need that many Inquisitors in the show. There's not enough Jedi around. Why the hell do you need three Inquisitors to look for one Jedi? It's ridiculous. Like with Fallen Order, you got one Inquisitor chasing down Cal, or two actually. But as soon as Vader shows up, they could become completely irrelevant. I remember the Grand Inquisitor from the Space Aladdin show. Those speeding sabers. Where's Mickey Mouse trying to sell some toys? I just think Grieva is a little over the top, character wise. Writing wise, she's just not a great character. Nothing against the actress, but she's just not a good character. And she has way too much screen time on a show called Obi Wan Kenobi. Way too much screen time. Her role should have been cut in half, like Darth Maul. Like the opening of Jedi Fallen Order is very similar to this, with Cal doing working his job, and then the Empire shows up, and then she gets moving. Kind of similar to this in a way. This kid hiding in the corner who turns to Kenobi for help when Kenobi turns him down, which he would never do. And it's completely out of character. At least Kenobi would have done was say, "Okay, you can stay with me in this cave out here in the middle of the desert." He tells the kid to go back to town where the Inquisitors are waiting for him. Leaves him to freaking die. Out of character. She might have just been poorly directed because this is the sad part is they got three Inquisitors and he still gets away. She told her reckless. I'm like, huh. And her reasons for wanting to find a Kenobi don't make any sense. She blames him for abandoning the kids in the temple. I'm like, they were all being hunted, you idiot. He was the first one that got shot down. Like he was otherwise occupied. Like I said, she should have just taken a back seat. She has way too much screen time in the show. Like in the books, I think they should have taken more from the books because Kenobi deals with a lot more local threats, like the Tusken Raiders and local disputes like that. And there was a Jedi he actually went after in the books, Ferris Olin. I don't remember if he actually found him, but I think I would have rather seen that. Even something like this, Kenobi working a job is interesting. Something he would actually do if he was in hiding, fine. But I'm just, I get why you'd be like depressed and stuff. I get, but at the same time, like this Disney era has turned Kenobi and Luke into complete cowards. Both of them are completely out of character. I can see why Kenobi would be like, all right, I'm done. But like Luke doing that is ridiculous. Because Luke is supposed to be the best. It's like if Luke gives up, then the freaking galaxy is effed. I mean, if Anakin was there, he would have like chopped him in half. But I mean, people think Kenobi's a great Kyushu. Kenobi knows how to manipulate people. He's pretty good at that type of stuff. He won't do as often as Anakin would back in the day, like during Clone Wars. But like, he's more of a strategist, and Luke took a lot of those cues, especially in the books. It's like Kenobi returned to like using a lightsaber like a last resort, and Luke does the same thing in the books in the EU. Like a very last resort. Like that's why in Return of the Jedi, Luke was the last one to show up to rescue Han. Didn't even have his lightsaber because he didn't want to have everything escalate into a fight, which ended up happening anyway. But well, at least he attempted to have things escalate peacefully before it got out of control. But see, like he's out here in the middle of the desert. He doesn't have his hut that he has in the original film yet. It's cool, but like he could at least offer that kid shelter. I mean, if he just sends him back to town to freaking die. Just stupid. Out of character. He would never do it. Like, even with Outlaws, you get to see a little bit of Kay's daily life before everything goes out of control. She gets sent on her little adventure. So I kind of like seeing those little details in shows like this. But yeah, this should have definitely been a movie. Kenobi's a well known enough character. This would have definitely brought in a pretty big audience. As long as left Reva on the cutting room floor and just focus on his dynamic with Anakin Kenobi. I think this could have been a good film. It's like again, there hasn't been a Star Wars film on the silver screen in what almost 5 years, going on six. The next one's gonna be what a stupid raid movie and a freaking Mandalorian and Baby Yoda movie. Like, what are you doing over there? You can easily recast Luke Skywalker and do something with that. Instead of post Return of the Jedi, have him looking for lost artifacts of the giant Sith. Those are the types of things he does in the EU. Have him go to the academy, pretend Disney Wars never happened, and it'll be fine. And I just want to point out that McGregor is not the problem with the show. The woman that played Reva is not the problem. It's the writing is the problem. You understand? It's like people try to point the blame on the actors by people turned on Hayden Christensen for years. People were like hating on Ahmed Best for years. The guy just doing his job. I'm like, regardless of the character, the guy got to work with George Lucas. I'd say that's a win in my book. Not to mention his salary was probably pretty good too. So if you got to play a freaking stupid cartoon character, I would have taken a job too. So just put that out there. Like one thing aspect I like about this is that the fact that when Vader does show up, You could see why he's so pissed. It's like, where is Kenobi? But he's had like 10 years to focus on everything that happened. Where is this mother effer? You freaking left me to burn. So it's understandable on that level. Oh yeah. I think Luke should have had more screen time in this. Cool, look, a scrap rack. Unfortunately, I don't think there will be a second season. I think they could dive a little bit more into the lore and then do some more local conflicts, like dealing with Tusken Raiders and whatnot. That's the type of stuff kind of what we're dealing with on Tatooine in the timeline. I know it does that in the books, but according to the president of Disney Film, there is no lore or source material apparently. Thrawn trilogy, Legacy of the Force, Fate of the Jedi, X-Wing books. I guess none of that source material, according to her. All of a sudden now they want to use Thrawn. All of a sudden now they want to take more stuff from the EU, and just slowly destroy it. Apparently, Plagueis was in that stupid Acolyte show. I can't bring myself to watch it. I can't do it. Just can't do it. I know in the comics, Lucas does go on a lot of adventures as a kid. It'll be kind of cool to see that in live action or animation. I don't really care which. You can do a lot more with the lore animation, I think, of Star Wars. Like those Tales of the Empire and Jedi series. It's pretty cool to see. And Kenobi's rivalry with Owen, I think, could have been expanded upon a little bit more in this. A little disappointed that it was cut so short. And they got the basic gist of it, like, oh, clearly Owen doesn't like him, so I guess they got the basics down. Still, I think they could have dove in a little bit more into that. But here's the scene where this kid comes to Kenobi looking for help, and this kid's like, "Oh, they're hunting me. I got nowhere to go." You know what Kenobi should have said? Hey, come with me. We can hide in this cave I found here in the middle of the desert. He sends him back to freaking town to die. Like, come with me. I have shelter. I got a cave. I got food. I got water. But he just reminds me of a freaking mopey ass Luke in Disney Wars. Like, go away, kid. Like, it's not the character. Like Kenobi is like the one dude that Luke looks up to. So this part where you get to see young Leia is pretty freaking funny. You see, she convinced the wonderful little alien friends to take her place. Well, little Leia is pretty funny in this. I think she has too much screen time as well, but this introduction is hilarious. I think she's like 5 years old in this or something. This is funny. So this is our first look at what's it called? Alderaan. Got like little what is she, like 5 or something in this. Knowing the character of Leia is pretty freaking funny. And she's already a little bossy rat in this too. I've never read any books where Leia is like this small, but I kind of wouldn't mind seeing a Young Leia series, which this kid's a little older, or maybe recast, but there's some interesting politics that go on during this timeline. That would be really cool to see, I think. But as long as I'm not scared to go into it, because politics are what make up half the Star Wars universe. There would be no Clone War without politics. There's no Civil War without politics. Well, it's not boring like Andor. If it was actually interesting, then it can work. Just don't make it a freaking snooze fest. This part is funny after he reaches out his shirt. He said, I'm sorry, Bobby. She like gives a hug and reaches out her shirt or something. It's freaking funny. She's like 5 years old. There it is. And then they got the dudes hunting her down. It's like, no one's coming for you. A little bit of rinse and repeat here. I wonder if they use the same shots. Like, I know he has every reason to be depressed. He should have some flicker of hope, especially with watching over Luke. And I like the conflict where almost like he trained his father. If he just had the kid hide out at his little cave out in the middle of the desert, he could have had another ally to go looking for Leia and further into the series. What will I do? Yeah. So now we got Riva taking center stage. She is way over the top, horribly written. Her acting is atrocious. It's not the actress's fault. She basically chopped her hand off. I kind of like the attention to detail that we got the same guy from Attack of the Clones come back as well. Still wish we could have seen more of his conflict with Kenobi. I know it's more in the comics, but again, according to the president of Disney Film, it's no source material. How that wrinkly old broad is still there is beyond me. I wish it was as simple as getting rid of her, but people just go on and on about her being a producer. Yeah, well, she still can't make the good decisions to save her storyline. As a producer, she hasn't produced a Star Wars in about 5 years. She produced an awful solo film that no one asked for that basically bombed at the box office and ruined the career of Han Solo at the same time. I thought Rogue Jail sucked, but it made money. Well, people like it, that's fine. I don't. Thought it was unbelievably boring. Then I made a prequel called Andor Guy. Trying to sit through it again. Might do a commentary on it. Hopefully, I don't fall asleep. Yeah, her infatuation with Kenobi making no sense. If I remember correctly, I think we see a little bit of all about Revenge of the Sith. So it's kind of cool to see this planet finally. I see what she means when she said that they have no weapons. Jimmy Smits, good to see the character again. I mean, Leia's whole life is centered around politics, so it makes sense that we'll be getting a lot of this. My politics doesn't have to be like over the top or anything. A couple of small conversations about what's going on in the galaxy is all you really need. It's not that complex. There's 3PO. This is like where you would be. Mhm. What about you just straight up scold him? Dude is like twice her size. I'd rather be just to buy a jackal beast. Oh my gosh, they nailed this kid. Sounds like what she would say too. This is your future, Leia. You're gonna watch it get blown up in a couple of years. Like one of the things I can't stand about Rogue Zero was at the end of the film, he's killing missing teeth. They threw freaking Leia in there at the end of the film. It was like a wax doll. We couldn't get an actress to do that. Ugh. This part right here, when these grown ass men chasing this little 5-year-old kid when they can't catch her, just hilarious. It's what every creep says. Reading for you. Three grown ass men can't catch up with this little 5-year-old kid. I guess because he's like small and nimble. But still, it's like there's no reason they couldn't have caught her in a couple seconds. I'm kind of curious how Billy found Kenobi out here. I'm kind of curious where Ahsoka is during all this because they could have just turned to her. I kind of like how Bale snapped Kenobi out of his depression state. Like, dude, stuck it up, get out there. Wish someone did that for Luke and Disney Wars. Although for Luke seeing the high ground of his sister should have been enough. Snap him out of it. Should have been that simple. This part right here is funny. No one's coming for you. And this scene right here is pretty brutal. This just proves what I've been saying. Like this is out of character for Kenobi to leave someone, a fellow Jedi, just be tortured and killed when he could have easily protected him. Could have been an ally to have in this fight. But no, like, no, just go back to the town where the Inquisitors are totally not looking for you. Like he's a complete failure. He's a complete failure. Ridiculous. They look like the one person. If I was talking like shit, like me, like move on, be done with it, get over it. Kind of curious why I didn't go to Ahsoka with this. But whatever. The timeline is so strange in this era. So strange. Probably way more organized than the EU. Think about it freely. Give it time. No one's coming for you. Oh my gosh. Could have like told that kid to just basically run away, go back to town. But he let the Reaver live. I don't understand that at all. The main difference between this and Luke and Disney Wars is that Kenobi snaps out of it, and Luke does not. Or whoever that character is in Disney Wars, but I do not recognize. And it's funny, right? Because I kind of met you, McGregor, at Comic Con a couple of years ago. I kind of stuck into his booth. Didn't even have a ticket. And it's kind of waved and ran out. Yeah, next time. Next time, make sure I can afford it. But it wasn't too bad. It was what I wish they had done with Luke. Have him snap out of whatever depression state he was in and just get back out there. The one guy that should never really give up is probably Luke because he's supposed to be the best. But the Luke in Disney Wars and the Luke from the EU are completely different characters. It's kind of sad, really. It's like Luke from the EU would have welcomed Rey with open arms, no matter where she's from. It would have made her a better person. Whereas Luke from Disney Wars, just I don't recognize him at all. Mark Hamill, sure, but this roundhead just didn't understand the character, doesn't understand the universe that he was dabbling in. Just Empress KK doesn't know jack about Star Wars, clearly. Just it's so sad.